In today's video, you're going to watch us go undefeated with the best deck in the modern format. What is the best deck in the modern format? It is Mono Red Midrange. This is a deck I've continually dominated the modern leagues and tournaments with. And the reason I think this is so powerful is because it interacts on so many different axes and has great card advantage. The reason is because of cards like Blood Moon, which is a 3-mana enchantment that reads non-basic lands are mountains, meaning that if anyone's on a greedy mana base, which almost the entire format is, then it's just game over if this resolved. Additionally, we have Relic of Progenitus, which is a 1-mana artifact that says, target player exiles a card from their graveyard. One generic, exile Relic of Progenitus, exile all graveyards, draw a card. This means that any deck with DRC, any Delirium decks, any graveyard decks will just get completely shut out because of this card. And there are a lot in the format like Scam, Murktide, Living In, and much more. And if you think creatures are a problem, we have Fury, Bone Crusher, Lightning Bolt, Spikefield Hazard, Flame Slash, so many removal spells. While red traditionally doesn't have that much card advantage, we have 4 Seasoned Pyromancers and 4 Fabled Mirror Breakers, giving us 2-for-1s. And if all else fails, we have Blast Zone, which is a land that's just similar to Engineered Explosives, meaning that we can tick this up and destroy 6-mana permanents, or even a 15-mana Emrakul if we want. And last but not least, we are playing Ragavan. And if you don't know what Ragavan does, it is a 1-mana creature that reads, whenever Ragavan Nimble Pilfer deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, exile the top card of that player's library until end of turn, you may cast it. And at first glance, this card seems okay as a decent mana dork, but it ends up being like a better Dark Confidant. In this video, you're going to see us steal multiple cards from our opponent's decks. So if you're tired of losing to Wrenn and 6, Urza Saga, and other greedy mana bases, in today's video, we're going to be showing you why this deck can punish all of those decks, and this is the best deck in the modern format.
Game 1, we're on the play, and our starting hand looks fine. We just go Mount and Go, opponent fetch Shocks for a Breeding Pool. They play out an Oath of Nissa, finding a Flooded Strand. We just draw Ramunap Ruins and play it. Opponent just fetches a basic Plains and cast a Call, grabbing Omnath. Draw another land, so we'll just go land into Blood Moon. Opponent casts a Wrenn 6, they can do this because of Oath. Tick up on Flooded Strand, play it. Cast our Fable. Opponent just ticks up on a land and plays it, discarding our Reef to clean up. And we're going to use the Fable to discard Spikefield and the redundant Fable, or the redundant relic. We go to combat, attack Wrenn, cast a Seasoned Pyromancer, and we're going to discard Bone Crusher and Drag, finding 2 lands, play a land and pass. Opponent goes land into Fury, trying to kill our Shaman and Spyro. We'll activate Relic in response so we don't exile our Spyro, find a Spikefield Hazard. They then down tick Wrenn on an Elemental and let us untap. Draw land, we'll just cast out a Fury, deal 3 to Fury and 1 to Wrenn and kill Wrenn. Or we can kill Wrenn, they evoke a Solitude out, killing our Fury, but Wrenn still goes down. Opponent does nothing, we untap, draw a Fury, we buy Obosh and attack opponent for 3. Opponent casts it to Fairy, they bounce our Blood Moon, then step we activate Spyro, getting 2/1/1, draw Flame Slash, run out Blood Moon again, and we will send 2 at Teferi to kill it and 1 at the opponent, and opponent just scoops him up from there. Blood Moon just showing how good it is. Let's get into sideboarding. Looking at our sideboard, there's nothing that we want, so we'll just run it back. Game 2, our hand's perfectly fine. Opponent goes turn 1 Oath, finding a Breeding Pool. We draw a Spikefield Hazard, we'll just go to land Ragavan. Opponent just plays another Oath, revealing an Omnath, and they missed their land drop, which is weird because they did reveal Breeding Pool. They'll just go straight to combat. They evoke out a Solitude, they'll just play out another Ragavan and a Blast Zone. Opponent just goes Flood Strand Go, we go to combat, attack them. Ragavan hits, exiling a Misty, go Blast Zone, and we'll run out Blood Moon. Opponent fetches basic Plains in response, cast Naldamri's Call, revealing a Foundation Breaker. Opponent plays Breeding Pool into a Teferi, they just tick up Teferi, draw Ragavan. We could kill the Teferi, but I'm just going to continue attacking them. Exile an island, we'll bolt down the Teferi, so it can't bounce our Blood Moon. Play out our Spikefield Cave and buy Obosh. They Prismatic Ending our Rag and play out a land. Draw a Fable, so we'll stomp the Teferi and cast our Fable. Opponent just ticks up Teferi and passes. We'll loot away land and Flame Slash with Fable. Go to combat, attack down the Teferi. That just happened. We'll play out our other Fable, and we won't play Soken's on because we do have one on the battlefield. Opponent plays out a Wrenn, being a land drop. We untap Fable to get rid of Flame Slash and Soken's on, finding 2 lands, and we'll just go to kill Wrenn 6 here. Wrenn goes down, we'll play out a land, cast a Bone Crusher. Opponent plays out Teferi, bouncing our Blood Moon. They fetch and just concede. Again, Blood Moon looked so powerful. Let's get into match number 2.
Just a friendly reminder to leave a subscribe, it really helps me out and it's free to do.
Match 2, we're on the play, and we're on a Molda 6. And to note, opponent did reveal Kahira, which means either control or elementals again. They play out a Triumph, Pyro's great draw, go land and hold up Stomp. Opponent plays out a Wrenn, so this Blood Moon's probably going to be game. Step, we will just stomp the opponent, untap with Blast Zone, we'll just go land into Blood Moon. Opponent just goes Flood Strand, tick up Wrenn, so we'll cast Bone Crusher and hold up Bolt. Opponent just goes land, tick up, attack Wrenn down to 2, stomp Wrenn down, down. Even though Rin was not terribly important, play a relic out and hold up bold. Opponent buys a Kahira, draw another relic. We attack the opponent for 4, play out our other Bone Crusher, and just have lethal next turn if they have nothing. And opponent just scoops them up there. Get on to sideboarding. This is the same matchup, so again, no sideboarding. Game 2, our starter's pretty sweet. Opponent goes turn 1, fetch shock for Breeding Pool, revealing a Solitude. We'll just go land into Ragavan. Opponent passes without hitting a land drop, almost like Deja Vu, and they evoke a Solitude, killing our Ragavan. We'll just play out Blast Zone and pass. Again, opponent misses a land drop. We'll just stomp their face. We'll just go land into Bone Crusher. Opponent does find a land, fetch for a forest. We go to attack down Rin. They Solitude our Bone Crusher in response, so land into Relic. We just hold up Relic activation here. They tick up Ren, we activate Relic, and they just play the Floodstrand from their hand. Spyro, great draw. Play Spyro out, discarding Spikefield Hazards, and we find more lands. The Flame Slash. Opponent ticks up Ren, fetching down to 12. Plays out an Omnath. Good thing we have 2 Flame Slashes, or a Flame Slash. Top deck our Ragavan. We'll Flame Slash the Omnath, dash out the Ragavan, and we'll send all at face. We could kill Ren, but I think we're just trying to kill the opponent. Opponent agrees, so they evoke a Solitude out, killing our Seasoned Pyromancer. Not Ragavan. Ooh, and Ragavan exiles a Prismatic Ending, so that means we can kill the Ren as well. We end the Ren. Opponent plays out a Boseiju and buys Kahira. Dash out Ragavan again. Opponent has a Bolt for the Rag. And if they go down to 6, we do have lethal with 3 Ramunap Ruins on board. Run out a Relic, pop it immediately, find another Ramunap, and we buy Obosh. They just play Kahira and a land, so we'll just play out Obosh, and we're just gonna wait here because they have to act first and we just have lethal, but we will kill the Kahira here. Opponent plays out a Fury, and now it doesn't even matter. If they do have Leyline Binding, we have Bone Crusher, Lightning Bolt, and a Ramunap Ruins activation, so we have like 5 different ways for lethal. So we'll bolt them, and that just happened. Let's get into match number 3.
Match number 3, we're on the draw with a fine hand. Opponent goes turn 1 Shockland into Nade. We'll go turn 1 Ragavan. Opponent goes Saga into Stoneforge, finding a hammer. Draw a Slash, we'll kill the Stoneforge Mystic and get in. Exile Inkmoth, we'll play land and a relic. Opponent just goes land go, we play land and attack him with Rag. Opponent makes a construct, they block, we'll pop relic, call another relic, play another Ragavan and another relic. Opponent just floats a mana with Saga, plays out a hammer on Gingerbrute, gives it unblockable, and plays another hammer on it. So we're just dead. Let's get on to sideboarding. Taking out relics and some bad cards for some Maguses, Shattering Sprees, and Pyrite Spell Bombs. Game 2, our hand's perfectly fine, so we'll keep. We just go land go, they go land Springleaf Drum, Giant Spree, great draw, light our Spell Bomb, and pass. Opponent plays out an Inkmoth Nexus into a Stoneforge, and they grab a Nettle Cyst, and they play a Giver as well. We'll just bolt the Giver, Ragavan's a fine draw, dash that out, we exile Seacrum Coast, and then we'll play a tapped land. Opponent plays a land into a Sentinel, and looks like they're just holding up Stoneforge activation. Blast Zone is a great draw. We'll hardcast our Fury, they put in the Cyst into a Sanctifier, but we have the answer with Spell Bomb, and they equip the Cyst to the Sanctifier. Bone Crusher also fine draw. We'll kill both their artifacts. Back in for 6. They block, so we will Bone Crusher them, and Bone Crusher does prevent damage, so this will be able to kill the Sanctifier. Opponent just goes land go, we attack in for 6. Play out a Ragavan and hold up our interaction. Opponent plays out a Giver, we stomp it and they concede. Get on to game 3. Game 3, our starter looks fine. Opponent goes land Sentinel, draw Bone Crusher. They just play a Saga, attack in for 1, and do nothing else. Play land and hold up interaction. Opponent goes to combat, hits us for 1, so we'll bolt the Sentinel, pay in the 1 for it. They Spell Pierce, which means that we can resolve a Blood Moon next turn. Yep, we play our land out, we play a Blood Moon, we don't care about letting them draw 1, and Blood Moon hits the table. They attack us for 1, we draw another land, we'll just hold up interaction. Opponent just scoops them up after that, seeing the writing on the wall. Let's get into match number 4. Match 4, we're on the play with a fine hand. Go land go, they join us, touch us up a basic swamp, and thought seizes us into a Ragavan. Draw our own Ragavan. We just decide to run out Spyro, pitching Fury and Ragavan for 2 1/1s. Opponent goes basic force into Tarmogoyf. Draw land, so we'll just run another Spyro and discard 2 lands. Flat our land and pass. Opponent runs out a Tireless Tracker to a fetch land. We draw another land. We run out Fable. Opponent fetches on our end step and we'll bolt the tracker in response before they get a clue. Opponent plays out Bobble and buys a Giganta. Draw a Spikefield Hazard. We'll loot that away with the Fable. Finding Ragavan, buy Obosh, and play out Rag. Opponent Inquisitions us, whipping, flip Fable, and just pass. They bolted on our end step, play out a Saga, they cast their Giganta, we crank up Blast Zone to 2, they untap, draw Ragavan, so we'll play out our Obosh, fetch cast Fury, kill Giganta and Ragavan, and that's just lethal on board. Get on to sideboarding, bring in 2 Lanterns for some bad removal spells. Game 2, hand's a little slow but fine. Opponent goes Bobble on us into an Inquisition, take our Blood Moon, top deck Relic. Opponent goes Saga into the Pyrite Spell Bomb, and runs out a Needle, naming Relic Opportunist. We run out a Lantern, play a tapped Spikefield Hazard. Opponent shots in a Blood Crypt, holding up Saga activation, find a land, we play that and slam a Blood Moon. Opponent just attacks us for 3 and that's it. Play out another Lantern, buy an Obosh. Opponent attacks us for 3, we draw a Spyro, discarding Spikefield and redundant Blood Moon. finding land. We hold it just in case of a Croxa or something weird. Opponent attacks in for 3, we just take it. Pop one of the lanterns, finding Bone Crusher. Play out the land that we draw, cast out our Fury. We also attack in for 4. Opponent bolts our Fury. Opponent plays out a Boseiju. We play out Blast Zone, stomp them, cast our Bone Crusher, attack in for 4, they're down to 6. Opponent cast a Ragavan into an EE on 0. Pop our lantern, draw another Fury, Bone Crusher, stomp the Ragavan, play land, and before we cast the Obosh, opponent scoops him up. Let's get into match number 5. Match 5, we're on the draw, but with a fine hand. One goes turn 1 DRC. We go turn 1 Ragavan. They bolt our Ragavan. Back in for 1. We play land and take this opportunity to dash out a Ragavan. And we exile Consider off their top, and they spell pierce it. And this is why we didn't go over the Stomp or Relic. One just goes land and passes. We just run out a Relic, cast our Ragavan, and hold up Hazard. Don't cast Unholy Heat, go in our Ragavan. Don't cast an EI, and just passes after that. Just play land and hold up Interaction. When it goes land into a Breach, in response to Hazard the DRC, and pop the Relic, find another Relic. They fetch, finding a island, and cast Consider. Fetch again, giving themselves 3 cards, and they cast Consider out of the yard. Top deck a Fury, we play out a Relic, pick up Obosh. Opponent plays DRC into an EI, exile land, they dash out a Ragavan, exile a Ragavan off of our top, play out the land, draw another Blast Zone. We run out our Fury, killing DRC. They bolt our Fury, dash out a Ragavan, hitting Bone Crusher. They stomp us, buy Giganta. On their end step, we pop our Relic, finding a Hazard, and we drew a Spyro. Run out our Obosh and hold up Interaction. One cast a Thought Scour, getting Delirium, then Unholy Heats our Obosh. They dash out a Ragavan, but we have the Hazard for it. And they cast out a Bone Crusher, find a Hazard, stomp the DRC, Spikefield Hazard it, and run out Spyro, discarding the Blood Moon, finding land and Fable. They attack in, we just trade. They run out a Giganta, do a Ragavan, find a land. We decide to run out Bone Crusher and hold up Sukinzan, so that we can trade off the board if they attack with both. They attack in with Giganta, we activate Sukinzan, double blocking, and they play a Ledger Shredder. Bone Crusher is a fine draw, we play Fable and pass. Opponent attacks us for 1 in the air. We crank Blast Zone up to 2, bolt down the Shredder, stomp the Ragavan, and then cast a Bone Crusher, and attack in for 3. Opponent casts Ledger Shredder into a DRC, conniving away a Bauble. Flip Saga, pop our Blast Zone on 1, killing DRC, pop the Blast Zone on 2, killing Ledger Shredder, and now we just have 7 damage. Opponent goes down, let's get on to sideboarding. Take out 3 Blood Moons for Lantern and a Pirate Spellbomb. Game 2, our first 7, just horrible, we gotta ship it. Our 6 is also just really bad, so we're gonna ship this as well. 5 is fine. We'll put back Blood Moon and a Flame Slash. Plays a Bauble into a Ragavan. We draw another land. We'll go land into Spikefield Hazardous now. It just goes land go. We draw a Blast Zone. We play that into Relic. Find a Fable. Just take this turn off to buy Obosh. On our end step, they abrade our Relic. They play out an EI on their turn. Exiling Bauble. Cast Bauble targeting themselves. They just fetch and pass. We play out a Relic. Play a land and pass. When it goes land into Ledger Shredder, we just untap. Find a Fury. We go for a Bolt on the Shredder. And they Aether Gust our Bolt. Don't cast a Consider into an Expressive Iteration. They exile a Ragavan. They dash out the Ragavan. We pop Relic, bolt the Ragavan, draw a Spyro. We'll pitch cast Fury, getting rid of Obosh, killing the Ledger Shredder. We'll cast out our Fable. Opponent goes EI into Ledger Shredder. Find a Lantern, discard that, draw a Fury, and a Spyro Spellbomb. For attacks, our opponent heats our Shaman. We run out of Spellbomb. Opponent cast out a Breach, cast an EI out of their yard, and conniving. Put a Dress down in the bin. They exile a Bauble. They attack us down to 12. Run out DRC, play the Bauble. Bauble us. Cast Bauble again. We Spellbomb the Channeler. They cast a Bolt on us. And they find Delirium. We draw another Fury. So we evoke it, killing the Ledger Shredder. Now we can pop Blast Zone, killing DRC. Opponent attacks them with DRC. We pop the Blast Zone. They pick up Giganta. Pass after that. Find a Bone Crusher. And we just pass holding up Stomp. Opponent plays out a Giganta. Does nothing else. Find a Ragavan. Play Bone Crusher Giant. Then Holy Heat our Bone Crusher. Bolt us. And we're just dead here. Let's get into game number 3. Game 3, our hand looks great. We go turn 1 Mountain into a Relic. Opponent plays out a Bauble into a Fetch Land. Playing out a Rag. Find a Blast Zone. We play that out. And we just stomp the Ragavan now. Opponent goes DRC into a Bauble. Plays out an island, activate Relic, go land into Flame Slash. And at this point of the game, our opponent was only down to a minute on the clock, so we ended up just kind of stalling here, and which is kind of a shitty way to win the game, but it is how it is on Magic Online, and playing the clock is something that you do need to do. So we ended up getting another 5-0 with this list. I believe this is actually the best deck in Modern right now. It just feels so powerful, and there's really not that many bad matchups. I think the only deck I'm really afraid of is Rhinos and maybe 4-color, which is weird to say, in a Blood Moon deck. While Blood Moon sometimes has the connotation of being a boring card, I would say this deck is all but boring, and there's so much play to it, and if you are really interested in playing a sweet mid-range deck that has a great free win value of Blood Moon, and a lot of card draw and a lot of play to it, this is perfect for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.